good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tech Shaman Show.
Tech Shaman Show.
Yeah, Tech Shaman Show.
We're back.
We're back. Boy, we had a rough week last week.
Yeah.
Florida had a rough week last week.
That's for sure.
Did you have your stuff backed up?
Of course I did.
Had my stuff backed up.
Had everything backed up.
That was huge. We keep telling you, you need to back your stuff up.
I'm telling you that, I don't even think anybody would have been prepared around here, our area, for the immense damage that system would have caused.
No way.
I don't think we could have just comprehended the.
No.
I mean, even if you tried to get your devices off the floor, or disconnect the electrical, get the the sheer damage was just like, just.
So we here in Tampa Bay got lucky.
Oh yes, very.
You can say blessed.
Lucky.
You can say whatever. I'm just saying we got lucky
because the Indian mounds.
Indian mounds. That's
Yes,
what it is.
The shield, the force field has been up.
Is that what it's? That what
has
that
not been
is?
penetrated yet.
Well, let me tell you something. If what would have happened here happened in Sanibel and Captiva and Fort Myers, Tampa would have been destroyed.
Easily, yes.
I mean, destroyed. I mean, I watched the time lapse on all of that video, and I know everybody's probably tired of hearing about Hurricane Ian, but you have no idea the devastation that we got out of. Because I mean, I watched the time lapse video, and dude, some of it was minutes, no water, 10 feet of water.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Minutes. There was a fire station. I was watching the interview with the fire station. That's the one where they pushed the engine out. They lost that one. They said that within 45 minutes it went from no water to crap.
Well, just look in our area, Tampa Bay. All the way north, how much water was sucked out of our area. It had to go somewhere. And
I'm telling you, I'm just.
It's amazing, and if people didn't have their data backed up, for instance, even if it goes to the cloud or which would be preferred in an instance like this, because you just can't expect to store that data on an external hard drive. Where are you going to put it?
Right.
You're going to obviously want to keep it close to your person, so you're going to take it home and have it get lost in the storm, or save it in a safe deposit box. What's going to get flooded out at the bank. So it's not gonna make sense. So at a point like this is where cloud backup really makes a difference. For your company. A lot of people. Where would you be if you had to start over again?
Right.
If you don't have your customer list, your sales sheets, and everything like that. All the information that you've needed to run your business. How are you going to do it if you don't have it?
You're not. And here's the thing. So I was talking to somebody. The guy goes, well, I backed up. He goes, I watched the show. I did what you said to do, whole 9 yards. He goes, but then it dawned on me that I don't remember my passwords.
That is an issue.
I'm like, ooh.
We can only do so much.
Ooh, didn't think of that. I'm like, crap.
Back up your stuff, and please write down your passwords. Keep them in a safe place. If you don't know that, you can get LastPass or something like that.
Just something.
And again, even with password managing tools, remember that in order for those tools to work, you also have a master password that controls everything. So if you want access to those passwords, you've got to remember a password.
You do.
So
it's kind of important.
It's kind of important here, folks.
This will be the one time that I would sit and say, well, it's okay to write your password down.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have that piece of paper tucked away in your wallet or on your person or in a fireproof or waterproof safe, or something that you think is going to survive.
Or even like in a notepad on a cloud backup of your phone or something like that. As long as you have access to it at a later time, when the time comes that you need to recover that data, you need to have that password, and just nobody's going to be able to figure it out for you. You need to just this is something that it's very important, very very important. So backup, cloud backup. carbonite or any,
Yep.
some kind of service that offers redundancy.
Even if you had to go and just temporarily pay for a big 2 terabyte from Dropbox.
Yeah.
And just shove it all up
Yeah,
there.
well, or OneDrive, or send it to,
Yeah.
or send it to, if you have Gmail account, you have your Google Drive. If you got enough storage there, send it up there.
Yep.
I'll pack it all into a zip file and send it up and let it be sit there. It
Kind of
doesn't
a big
matter.
deal, man. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things where it just showed our point, because I mean, Rob and I were talking last week, actually, because we were here during the whole thing anyway. He kept coming in, I kept coming in. He came in more than I did, because moron here fell off an RV and I got cracked ribs and bruised kidneys and
Oh.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
not what you're supposed to do while you have an RV.
Yeah, I know. So, but we were talking about, because we do a lot of shows, home shows and stuff like that in Fort Myers, and then if you go down to Fort Myers where we ate, we found this great little motel that's on the right there on the bridge going out to the island. If you go out there, the pier's gone, and every restaurant and on both sides is just gone. I mean, gone.
Unbelievable.
And then then there's the lighthouse that was this. I think it's Sanibel, the island. That there was this beautiful houses,
Right.
and then there was a museum in the lighthouse. Blah blah blah. It's all gone.
Yeah. And
I mean,
there's-
gone.
There's no rebuilding that.
No.
There's not that whole barrier island is forever changed, and it will never. They're not going to run sand out there and rebuild that. There's just no way.
They can't. They can't do it. I mean, it's very, very, very sad.
Yeah.
About what's happening, but so we're gonna try to move on. We're gonna come back to that because we're gonna talk about.
We're
some
gonna come
things.
back because
Yeah.
it involves technology.
It does. It does involve
It
technology.
involves tech.
So one of the things I was trying to find stuff that was kind of just a little more lighthearted and all that kind of stuff. So what I found that one of the first ones is something escaped a black hole at almost the speed of light, and NASA recorded it.
Well, that's because
Well, they're portals. Who doesn't know
black
this?
holes are not. There's no end at the other side. It's just when you get sucked into it, it just shoots you out the back at faster than the speed of light. So
Right.
hey, we can just cross the universe by zoopsing through little black holes. We just got to line them up, kind of like when you were playing Sonic or something, and you had to go through the rings. Yeah, just choo choo choo.
I don't know. But I think we actually have a video of it, right? Rob's going to put up there for us so that way everybody can kind of see it. I think it's from the AP Newswire. No, this is actually NASA footage. Now, of course, this is animation of of the black hole that they're actually out there filming. So I'm trying to. Oh my gosh, my computer's acting stupid. Right, this between a black hole and its partner 10,000 light years. The Maxi J1820 plus 07 system is created when the two cosmic objects came together and hot material was observed by NASA telescope exiting the black hole at almost the speed of light. So they're coming to get us.
They are.
Aliens are real, right? I think that's cool.
It is cool.
I mean, there's an actual. I don't know if I think I actually got a picture. I love how they animate it, but they actually have a picture of the optical and infrared version, and they show in a little box over on the side. They show where there's something coming out of the center of the hole. I don't know if Rob can find that for me or not, but the X-ray. I don't like it when they animate stuff, so you can see it coming out, little speck. Right?
That's the Borg.
The Borg, they're on their way. See right there. See the little top dot? There you go.
You know what? It could
be an asteroid.
it could be passing behind it, or some kind of gravitational lens situation going on that they can't see. So
My question is it a portal in or a portal out? Or does it go both ways? Is it binary?
binary.
I'm sorry, dad joke.
Dad-
Dad joke. That's really bad. I'm
bad.
sorry. I won't do that again.
Bad-
Oh
bad-
yeah, I will. I
Bad
can't promise.
dad joke.
But I mean, I tell you what though, the telescopes are actually really.
They're so powerful now.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that they can see.
I'm going to jump down to the AP News piece where they said that the space telescopes, the Hubble and the Webb, actually recorded the impact from the dart.
Oh, from
Now,
oh, yeah.
I watched the whole thing. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, this is amazing. This is like super cool. I can't believe that they're able to do this whole 9 yards. And my wife is like, they crashed a satellite into a rock. And I'm like, yeah, but the technology to get that from us, and what was it? I think it was 3 years.
Yeah, and to get to the same speed as that rock.
Right.
Because people don't understand. Those things are all in motion. Everything's happening in motion.
Yeah.
So to be able to pile drive that thing right on target
Yep.
while it's moving and the ship is moving.
So, as you watched it come into frame, and we don't have the video of this, but as it come into frame, there was more than one.
Okay.
Okay, there was 3 or 4 of them, but the one they were going was for the big one. The first one is over to the left. If you were watching it from this way to the left, and I'm like, oh my God, they missed. And they kept, and it's kind of funny. It's like they read your mind. So the one on the left is not the targeted rock. It's not the targeted one. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And now it's going to take years of data to figure out, did it actually slow it down? Did it move it left or right or up or down? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm waiting for. But the technology to be able to do that is absolutely amazing. So the shot on the left of the rocks, that's the last shot they got before it hit.
Yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of rocks all clumped together. So all we did is just drive right through it. The rocks split apart, and they're going to go back together, and boom, we got an asteroid.
Could you imagine if that's a rock monster? And all we did is just now piss it off?
Just
great.
Now it is definitely coming.
Awesome. Now it's coming for us, right?
So were they concerned with this particular rock, or was this just a test?
They knew that it wasn't going to be a hit enough to do a major trajectory, right? But it was going to be big enough. But it was also small enough that if it did, it's not that kind of a big of a deal.
Right, because they gotta also plan ahead in years.
Yes, they do.
That small, minute change.
Yep.
It takes years and years and years before it moves that thing as it's making its orbit out away from wherever you're trying to direct it away from. It's not like an instantaneous 200-mile hit.
They're right. But it's again, you go. It's just it's fascinating that they had the technology to be able to get it there.
Right.
So Rob, the joke is this morning is like Rob's like, well, crap. They're not doing this for just no reason whatsoever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you got to start thinking in your head, is there something out there?
There is something out there. They're just not telling us.
Right.
Just like the aliens.
So, I got a feeling that the data will come back way faster.
Oh yeah.
Than what we thought. I'm not sure if we're still alive anymore.
It's definitely gonna come back, and we're definitely gonna see some information coming back on this relatively quickly.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
I would like to see what the rock looks like now.
Did we do a little?
Yeah. Did we just
Did we give a new crater to it?
Yeah. Did we just add a little crater to it, or what happened? Is this because they always talk about these things. Sometimes they're icy objects. They have a icy center. And then there's rocks piled all around the outside, or there's the rocks are all loosely put together, or it's a solid object. So what was the makeup of the item that we just hit? What happened? Did it absorb our spaceship and our spacecraft and just
Did it get
eat
smarter?
Did it get smarter? And it's now has a center brain.
It kind of worries me that Rob never should have put that in my head. Now it's gonna be like, okay, what's out there? What are they getting ready to do? Because
20 years from now,
NASA
John's
doesn't
gonna be
do
sitting there.
anything without.
John's going to be sitting there saying, I remember that.
I
Wait,
remember that. Oh, there
we're
it is!
diverting a real asteroid this time. What?
Oh, God have mercy. So, moving, we're going to go back up now because, well, wait a minute. No, let's just stay. Let's stay on outer space. Right? So Chinese rovers find evidence of an ancient floods on Mars. I thought we had already established that Mars at one point in time was a rich,
right.
A normal
now,
planet.
Did they find evidence of water flood or methane flood or
No, they said water once existed.
Okay.
And that it flowed in biblical proportions.
Biblical.
So it could have been a blue planet.
Yeah, probably all blue.
Right. So I don't know. I guess the way that they're looking at penetrating waves at sea that deep as 100 meters into ground, images like and that outfitted with the bounce signal, whatever lies beneath, which in turn reflects back in varying degrees, research blah 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 blah, and what solid or liquid objects are down there. There must be water underneath.
It would be very interesting to find because if there is water on the planet. Or even in the planet.
Right.
There's so much that we would be able to utilize from that. They can create oxygen from the water. They already have enough sunlight up there.
Well, there is ice on both on the polar, so there has to be water there somewhere, or has to been water there somewhere.
Right. Well, we just can't be hiding out next to the ice because it's just cold.
Okay, so there's been several movies that actually
Total Recall.
Total Recall, which they let the water loose. But there was do you remember the other one with? I think it was. Oh gosh, the guy. Geez, Lord have mercy. I'm drawing a blank. They went up there to explore, and they were going to terraform.
Oh.
And their robot dog went haywire and was killing them and hunting them, but they were up on the polar region, and they made a machine that actually pumped out. They converted the ice into CO2 and oxygen and whole 9 yards, and it turned wherever the machine was, a little area.
It would build a small atmosphere around that area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mars movies. I am going to go look right now. And it's an old movie, too.
Yeah, you can't do that. You look up Mars movies, and next thing you know, you're
I know. It's like, oh,
Google gives
that
you
is not
everything.
a Mars movie. I'll find it. Next week, I will have that one because it had Top Gun, Iceman.
What was
his name? I think there it is, Red Planet.
Well, there it is. That's
Red Planet. That was the name of it.
That's the easiest.
Wow. Golly,
that's
gee willikers,
bad,
man.
That's getting bad there, John.
Yeah, their robotic dog, Amy, right? Search the solution planet and Earth by searching Mars, only had the mission go terribly awry. Yeah.
Did it have a good rating?
It actually did. Val Kilmer. That was the main dude.
I think I need to go watch that.
Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore were the last two that were living before Amy killed them all off. So yeah. Anyway, see, I'm not crazy.
Sucks.
Amy, don't be that way.
Bad dog.
Right. So now we're going to come into some stuff that I think is more up your alley. And I mean, I'm a space nerd, so it is what it is. So have you used Brave?
The Brave browser?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've not really utilized it.
It's Brave browser to start blocking annoying cookie and consent banners.
Consent banners, yeah.
So it's like,
that's kind of nice.
Okay, well, you can't.
If you can't say no and you can't say yes,
right?
Can you see
what's
the website?
What's it going to do?
Are
Right?
you allowed to see the web? Maybe it's just going to download it anyways.
Great. So I'm getting a virus and I'm not even consenting to it. That sucks.
You don't even get a chance to consent. So yeah, I mean that could be a cool thing, a bad thing. I mean, unfortunately, you just really don't know what the browser's
But
doing.
it does. But it does have. But it does give you a filter list.
And you can filter out. Can you filter out manually as well?
Yep.
Ah, nice.
Add custom filter lists. You can actually start building your own. So
Well, that's a pretty cool feature.
that is not bad.
I mean, it's
so it's the other one like DuckDuckGo, or
yeah.
DuckDuck, or-
DuckDuckGo does a lot of the doesn't allow trackers and excuse me, I apologize. Things.
Been drinking already?
Yes.
Golly,
Yes.
man.
I feel
Go
like
back, go down to the islands, and then come back, and he's a day drinker.
I'm telling you. Wake up in the morning. Yeah, my wife found a nice drink down there too. It's called the Miami Vice. It was nice.
Oh, that's not new.
Well, it
That's
was new
so
to her.
old.
It was new to her. New
Oh
to,
my
new to
gosh.
me. I was like, wait, what is that? And she's like, I don't know.
So what? Okay, so what do you use? Do you use Google? Do you use
I personally
Explorer?
use Chrome.
Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, your stuff's out there. I mean, it's inevitable. I use Google for all my stuff, anyways. My management of my web, Google Workspace and things.
Right.
So I use it. It's not it's inevitable. Your stuff's going to be out there no matter what you do.
Because I'm going to jump down to number 9 there, Rob, and we're going to talk about, because that's the next thing. Everybody wants to how to scrub your phone
Now,
number and
yes.
address from Google search.
This is something that definitely should have the ability to do, because some of the most annoying things. A lot of these companies that they'll try to put you in say that you're a relative or in relation to this person, and then they start, next thing you know, they start trying to figure out who's this and who's that, and they start mashing up phone numbers, mashing up addresses,
Right.
and confusing you for somebody else, just because at some point there was a relationship there, and
Really?
yeah. It's not like somebody's trying to contact us about a house that my ex owns, and they're referring to my current wife as and that's frustrating. I mean, and that's all. Why is that even public knowledge to begin with? Why is that even out there? There's no reason for it. You know what I mean? So these kinds of things are very annoying. And yes, there should be one easy way for you to scrub that information directly from Google or any web search engine, for that matter. And a lot of these sites, again,
So here's the. I'm trying to look from both sides. The downside of that is once you start doing that, that means all your business stuff is going to be scrubbed as well.
not necessarily.
If it's your phone number, like with mine, for a long time.
Well, you shouldn't be using your personal phone number from, you should, this is just, business. You start a business, then you're going to have, you need to have a separate line for your business, because one day you're not going to be that business.
Right.
You need to have an email address that's tied to its own domain, because one day you're not going to be able to control that free Gmail account that says, bobsburgers@gmail.com.
Right.
Doesn't look professional to begin with, and you have no control over that. So go ahead and, set it up right at the beginning, and that way you don't have these kind of issues right here. Yes, your phone number might be tied to it, but, again, when you're first starting out, people start out with their cell phone number, for instance, which is a great thing, but then you start growing and you start realizing, I don't want everybody calling my cell phone.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
And you still get it.
So the problem I had was the fact that people called me anyway.
Correct. Yeah.
So when people call me anyway, because we've had when we were Tampa Bay Multimedia, we were always, we always had a separate number, right? But it's like I give people my cell phone number, because a lot of times we're not in the studio.
Right.
See, we don't have someone that sits and mans the phone all day long. That's what we don't have. So we either forward it, and then the problem is when you forward it and then you make a phone call back, they got your cell phone number,
Of course.
right? So I got to the point where I'm like, I just give my cell phone number.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Yeah,
Right.
I go, But then we got busy, and then we got known, and I'm not saying we're huge, but
Right.
but people do who know who are. And so now, when we went to Area 52, I dropped my cell phone, and I'm strictly on another phone number. So
Oh, yeah.
people aren't calling my house at.
Definitely. You don't want
I literally used to get calls 2 or 3 in the morning because they were people other time zones.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, well, we're interested in doing a production of remote and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just 3 o'clock in the morning here, dude. You answered your phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. You in the studio? No, you got my cell phone."
Oh boy.
So, I don't know.
and it's crazy because like long time ago when I had my cell number tied to the business, I had Spectrum
Right.
as the phone service.
Right.
And I did have a business line, but the problem was they also added your phone number into the Yellow Pages. And at the time, they took my cell phone number and added it to the Yellow Pages. So now I'll get this random phone call
From Yellow
from this
Pages.
random person who decided that the Yellow Pages is still relevant.
Yeah.
And I will get phone calls, and I have to do what I have to do. But yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Use whatever resources you can to scrub your personal information, at least your address,
Right.
date of birth, all that kind of crud that's out there. Surfing around on the web, just trying to people to use to either track you or hunt you down for something that you might not have any reason to be hunted down for.
Right. So, 14 Pro?
14, not yet. I'm on the fence still.
So see,
I'm
and look at his phone. So Apple's iPhone 14 Pro Max has the best display in the world.
Thanks, John. Thanks. And
Display technology from DisplayMate has concluded that the 14 Pro Max
Pro Max. Remember,
is
there's
the
different.
best
There's differences
on any smartphone to date. And it's setting or matching 15 category records.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's color accuracy. So here's DisplayMate says extended match to previously tested phones. 15 and 8 of them, DisplayMate concluded the screen was visually indistinguishable from perfect. And here's some of the things: color accuracy of white. That's a big
Okay.
deal. So
That is a big
It doesn't look pink. It doesn't look yellow. It's white.
Okay.
Which is a big deal, right? Absolute color accuracy. Shift in color accuracy with APL. And then maximum color shift with APL. Image contrast accuracy to intensity scale accuracy. And visible screen resolution. The remaining 7 categories that met previous records are set. Our new ones are full screen brightness, OLED, the smartphones, the peak display brightness, contrast ratios, screen reflectance, contrast rating and ambient light, brightness variations in viewing angle, and color variations of white with viewing angle.
Now, what technology do they use on this screen? On the 14, do they use OLED or
Yes.
or do they use the mini LED
No.
that I was hearing
I
about?
think it's the OLED. I
Okay.
have to double check that. But, the full brightness for OLED smartphones.
Yeah, I'm going to make this jump. I'm waiting for the right deal and the make sure that
Yep.
I mean, for me, it's going from an 11 to a 14, so I'm definitely going to see an increase in performance. Because I will tell you that since they've added new features to the new operating system, and that they've increased the RAM size of the newer phones, they did that on purpose, not to give everybody, the bragging rights, but because the software is requiring, when the apps are open and things like that, are requiring more RAM in the system to be able to be utilized.
Your phone's got a bit of work.
Yeah, and right now,
Big
with
time work.
The iPhone 11, for instance, is stuttering a lot because it can't keep up. It can't transfer that data fast enough.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time about the camera going. Brrr,
Oh no, that was on the 14. I'm saying this is on the older phone.
Oh.
Just literally stuttering.
So if you look at the naysayers, the naysayers are like, well, yeah, because it's the brand new, it's the top of the top. Of course, it's gonna hit these things, and LG and Samsung and all those guys, they don't have the decisions to be made.
Right.
This is what you get. This is what you get. Apple goes in and goes, this is the only thing we're going to use. It's going to be this purity. But my question is okay. So if it's that accurate, does that mean that everything you video is going to be that accurate too?
Well, see, that's the thing.
I'd like to bring it into scope and we could put it up on scopes and go, okay, well,
Yeah, is the video you recorded showing in its true native format?
If I shoot pure white and I take it over to our system and put it in the scope should be 255, 255, 2550.
Mm-hmm.
Clean, perfect. No variations. You see what I'm saying? I'd be interested.
Or is it the screen technology that's up-resing the video?
Or is it up-res? Because, it's... I love it when you go and buy a new TV and it says 4K blah blah UHD.
Yeah.
That means it's being up-res to high def.
UHD.
Yes, that's not what it. No, that doesn't mean it's up-res.
It just means we have a video processor in there that can make it look a little better for you.
Yeah. So here's something that's interesting, right? So the iPhones, all the brand new iPhones, actually I think it's 12 and up. If you bring that footage into Adobe, you have to go now and normalize the video. I found that out the hard way.
I think Apple products are using a new codec.
Well, H265, and it's a UMC or something like that.
Yeah, the new compression format.
But you have to go into because I went and shot up at the Mothman Festival a couple weekends ago, brought it back, and I shot off of one of our Cine Altas, and then I shot off my phone. And my Cine Altas looked pretty damn good, right? Then I brought my footage in from my iPhone. It was blown out. Even though on my phone it looked perfect.
Right.
But because I think Adobe's having a hard time dealing with the iPhone footage and I think this is probably going to be any cell phone coming down the pike.
Yeah,
right?
It's probably going to get corrected.
You have to go
updates.
You have to go color correct. Mm-hmm. Which is, I'm like, well, that sucks because the reason we like shooting on our phones is because it looks really good.
Now you got to remember too, Adobe's a third-party vendor. So when you use, like for instance, using Apple products, you see Apple saying, these were shot on the iPhone. Yes, they were shot on the iPhone, but they were edited with Apple software. Most likely, they weren't edited with that third-party software because they're not done correcting any issues that they may have when either decoding the video from the phone or restructuring it, or even processing that data. They'll have code fluctuations, and the systems will freeze, and computers will have a difficult time working properly because of changes in the software.
Right.
Right, John?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, he's actually had one of our computers in his studio or on his bench over there at AMS Computers, and I keep telling him something's wrong with this thing, man. It's never done this before. It bogs down. I open up Adobe and nothing wants to work. And as a matter of fact, I showed it to you today when you got here, and he goes, I say, look, he goes, it's because all this stuff is trying to become too smart.
Yeah. Yeah,
and when it comes too smart, next thing you know, you're like, well, crap.
The hard thing, especially with technology today and computers today, and software vendors for that matter, everything wants to be cloud connected. Everything wants to be, the best of the best all the time.
Right.
And which means that, your devices are at some point going to have a problem because, like for instance, Adobe, you can only buy Adobe Cloud products. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you buy it, it automatically updates their software in the background. So it's constantly evolving and changing. And they're not taking into consideration the specs of your computer, John. and they don't take into consideration the other software vendors that you're utilizing.
Right.
So if anything is going to conflict, it's going to happen during that time. So what might be working today is not going to work exactly the same way tomorrow because you don't technically end up owning that software.
Right. You're just renting
it.
Yep.
And again, same situation with Windows, for instance. Windows does background updates. What's working today might not work tomorrow.
Right.
And that's where you start running into problems. And, in my field, for instance, I got to constantly go out there and research, different issues that are happening.
Right.
And, what updates are causing problems, what software vendors are causing problems, because every day it's a new situation.
It is, and it sucks, and for us it's frustrating because we're trying to get work done, and we got a computer that's feels like it's taking a crap on itself.
And there's nothing wrong with the physical hardware.
Nope.
It's the software,
software
not able to communicate properly, or it needs.
Sometimes I just want to unplug it.
Just unplug it and plug it back in again. It works all well.
So we have someone sitting out there that was going to be on our show today with us. I was going to surprise you with one of your own friends that
Surprise.
So you go ahead and have a seat. It's all good. So let's jump over to VMware.
Yes.
This is a new one. Okay, new malware backdoors. VMware, the ESXi servers to hijack virtual machines. Did you put this in or did I put this in?
I think you put this in.
Because I like talking about people that are trying to hijack our computers. And next week we're going to have a hopefully, if he's not mad at me, we'll have a guy come on that literally is cybersecurity is his world. So gotta like that kind of guys. I think you guys, I don't know if you guys know each other, but he's actually showed up today, and I forgot to tell him that. Don't worry about it because of the hurricane, and my bad. But this is quite an interesting. It's like deceitful. You get this stuff and you put it on your machine to help you get rid of all this crap, and they're leaving back doors for everybody.
Well, it's. Sometimes when writing the code, they don't know it's going to be a backdoor until somebody exploits it, and that's why they usually have all the the white hat conferences and stuff like that to go ahead and try to, back in the day, like for instance when Google first came out, Chrome, they had a big bounty, hey, crack Google Chrome,
right?
Break it, make it, we guarantee you're not going to be able to get into it. And at first,
they
it was really
dared
good.
people.
Oh, they dared people back in the day.
Today, but you
today
can't
they're
break
getting
this.
in and they can get into it. Look at how many updates we're constantly getting on.
Hold
Chrome.
my coffee.
Hold my coffee. It's easy
Hold
now.
my coffee. I got news
But I
for
remember
you.
back in the day when they used to have their bounty program going on. And again, Apple has most software vendors have a bounty program,
Right.
Because something's going to happen at some point. There's just too much code to look over to be able to say, this is not going to be a problem later on. And eventually somebody finds out what the exploit is, and there you go. They'll either going to, when somebody finds the exploit, they're either going to be part of the bounty program or they're going to be a bad guy who's going to be out there to, for instance, like this with VMware, being able to take over a bunch of virtual machines. The sheer amount of processing power they can launch attacks.
Because isn't
VMware
it's a software that they use on servers?
Yeah. It's basically so you can spin up virtual machines, miniature, like little miniature computers within one big server, utilizing all the resources of the server. You can spin up multiple virtual machines. So one server could be running hundreds of virtual machines depending on how big the server is.
So not right.
So
not right.
No, it's not right, because then it's just like they could fire up a huge attack on another company or somebody else. It's just like having multiple computers all lined up ready to go.
That sucks. Well, here's the one that I thought was just kind of funny. We're gonna because we're getting ready to jump on when we get done here. If we have time, we have 3 more. But we're gonna go back to the hurricane world. But this one right here is Tesla's mythical Cybertruck will also be a temporary boat. Because why not?
Well, that just means you just close the doors and just float.
It's sealed.
It's sealed. And it's got bulletproof glass.
But look how
it could
pretty,
be a submarine.
Look how pretty that thing is. Most people like that's the ugliest thing. I look at it and go, that is sexy as hell.
No, John, that looks like a 5-year-old drew that. while he was in class, and he was like tired, and he was like, I don't want to do my test. Look at this awesome car I drew, John. Oh,
And he got
it's
his
so
star for the day?
cool. Yeah.
He's got a star per day. So
I could understand. It's not about the design of the car and stuff like that. It's
much like the
functionality.
DeLorean when it came out.
Right.
Everybody
Hey,
was like,
I want a
"That's
DeLorean. I don't even know why. I want a
said,
DeLorean.
that's the ugliest truck ugliest car I've ever seen. It's all stainless steel, and it's just blah. I'm like, that is badass, period.
Come on, it took it going into Back to the Future before it got.
It did. It did. Because before that, it had the connotation of, oh, yeah, I murder people and do cocaine.
I do cocaine and murder people.
Well, that's what the guy got in trouble for. He's doing cocaine and killed his wife.
But hey, look, it's still,
Supposedly killed his wife.
look. Tesla's still running. They still have not Tesla. DeLorean. The DeLorean Motor Company still has a
Yep.
aftermarket company.
So we showed it. I downloaded. Actually, I gave the link to Rob. The Rivian, which is another electric car, actually already does this. Mm-hmm. So Elon's never going to sit there and go, "Oh yeah, that outdid me. Sorry, that sucked. I failed." You never lose. You never lose. You never lose.
No.
You only learn what you didn't do right.
So how deep are they going to put this thing?
Well,
That's not a test. That's only. I see freaking Toyotas going down Spring Hill Drive when it floods out, doing better than that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but this is all batteries. Those batteries are getting wet.
And that's not salt water.
Well, maybe they're not. No, yeah.
That is not salt water. As a matter of fact, you know what that is? That's not even water. That's mineral oil.
Mineral oil. Oh my God.
They're driving through mineral oil.
If
They're
I
like,
see
look.
one more of these people build a freaking computer inside mineral oil,
I know, that's ridiculous.
That's just,
Then the worst thing is when they build it inside mineral oil and then stick a fan on the CPU just so they can watch it spin in slow motion.
yeah.
It creates bubbles, John.
I don't know. I think but yeah, so Elon said Cybertruck will be waterproof enough to serve briefly as a boat, so it can cross rivers, lakes, even seas that are not too choppy.
He said it would serve
What are you gonna
briefly
do?
as a boat.
Let me get out and put some paddles
I was gonna
on
say
my wheels so I can go forward. And how are you going to steer? Because it doesn't work that way.
Doesn't have a rudder.
And just because you turn the wheels, it might kind of go that way, but it might not. It might spin the opposite way.
This is hilarious.
But hey, look, you know what? Good for him. He's saying, all right, we can do it. I don't care.
He's just wanting a toy. That's all he's building.
Oh
it
yeah,
for. It's just a toy.
This is the guy that put his Tesla out in space. So
Yeah, that guy's still chilling out there.
right, taking pictures of us and stuff like that. So one last thing before we get on to some Ian stuff. So Zuckerberg, he stopped all the hiring. He's freezing hiring, cutting costs, man.
That's because he took all his money and stuck it into VR, building the Oculus. He's like, wow, this is some pretty awesome stuff.
It is awesome. I'll give him that. It's cool, man.
It's cool, but there's really no. He's trying to be like the god of the VR world and trying to build all the worlds and tie it into Meta, and he's
first of all, and it comes in the VR world. You're late.
Yeah.
You're late, but you showed up with some wow products. I'm going to give you because I have a Quest 2, and I think it's freaking pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
but I'm not going to go in there to meet people and shake hands like they show you.
I'm going to go play
and
games.
Go do heart surgery and crap like that. I'm going to just shoot stuff, jump stuff, maybe play some pool. Hey, that's about that's about as far as it's going to go.
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make make it so like.
Oh, and you can watch Pornhub.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
In VR.
In VR. Woo! Yay. You go, buddy. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about so now they're like, well, let's back the boat up,
because they've lost their ability to generate revenue.
Right.
They're not people are realizing they're not all that.
Right. So I'm going to jump back onto Ian, so Ian came through as a Cat 4, right?
And they'll probably, I say later on down the road, they'll probably
Cat 5, because it was 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was
a plus, right?
So they're probably going to rein that in.
Now,
as a
our
Cat
buddy
5.
Ian, Elon.
Ian.
Oh, well, so first of all, Elon's going to help. He's going to help out the Hubble. NASA and SpaceX to investigate where the Dragon spaceship can drag Hubble space further from the Earth. They got to move it now because we don't have the shuttles.
So they're going to just grab onto it and pull it out to space a little further?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and nothing could go wrong there.
Nothing can go wrong. No, just break a mirror or something.
So when Obama, and I'm sorry if you liked him or not, when that dumbass mothballed our shuttles, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Because, we've had some accidents. You're always going to have an accident. There's failure on everything we do, but he could have kept those things out there. Or how about building some better ones?
Look at the Concorde. It had an accident.
Yeah, and then shut its ass down.
They shut those down.
One accident.
Well, and you know,
it's like COVID.
I was reading up on it too, on that situation.
Right.
It hit debris in the runway. Okay. It wasn't.
Who didn't clean the runway?
That's what I'm saying.
Bob did not sweep the runway.
It hit debris in the runway that popped the tire, jacked up the landing gear.
Yep.
And sent a piece of debris up into the fuselage, which broke and sent fuel down and caught on fire. They lost controls. It was just a terrible mess.
So Elon's going to make us a robot.
No, he's making another toy for himself. I don't care. Look, when in the article he said, well, the last time he talked about it, it was just a guy in a suit. If you had to go that far to put a guy in a suit to try to sell your "we're going to build a robot" thing, I mean, come on. You already know that he's got helpers walking around in these suits,
right?
Making them laugh.
And they're going to call it Optimus
Prime.
I don't know if they can do that
They
legally.
can. I don't care. I would call mine Optimus Prime. I don't care.
Optimus Prime.
And I want his voice too.
Oh, there's actually there's a video, I guess, kind of it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Oh, it's 3
and it was
hours
funny,
long.
you know.
Holy crap!
Remember when Honda? Was it Honda that came out with theirs?
Yes.
Was it? And you know,
It could dance.
It's clunky, but it walked out on its own. It did its own thing.
Well, his did too, with some guy in it.
What? No, even in this one, they rolled him out on stage, and there's like 3 guys standing behind him, like holding him up and balancing him before they were like afraid to let him go.
Was he going to attack?
Yes.
He's going to attack. Oh yeah, I would have.
He's become
I should have got this
sentient.
video. This is actually very interesting because.
I could understand. He's probably using different.
Is it okay? So is it an actual full body, or is this a mechanical thing where people can get in it?
No,
It enhances your strength.
This was a robot.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's.
But I mean, the whole thing lasted 3 hours. I guess he was getting really
hours.
He was getting pretty giddy in the conversation. Yeah, because he's.
Oh yeah, you can see the.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture now. Hey, Rob, put that picture back up real quick. I'm looking at the picture. And you can see where the arms, those are definitely.
That ominous look on the face, that just black.
Just black.
That's kind of creepy.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want one of these. Okay, Elon, you're worrying me. Right. But anyway, so the last thing we're going to talk about is, and I'm going to give him props for this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes down to situations like this where his technology is useful.
Yeah,
he's very very all
Elon is going to provide Florida with Starlink satellites in response to Hurricane Ian. Now, I love my governor. I think DeSantis is really pretty. He's just a pretty damn good badass. Sometimes, though, he needs to stop talking. So the statement he made was, and I'm not here to bash him. I'm just saying that sometimes they need to write him some better copy, because he says, "Oh yeah, Elon's going to go and he's going to park the satellites over Florida." No, that's not what he's going to do.
No,
he's going to reposition enough so they'll come in the circulation and hit more Florida for now.
Right.
Which he can do that, right? But when he said that, I looked at my wife, and even my wife knew that You can't park satellites like that. That's not the way it works. There's an orbit they have to. Even my wife knows that, right?
Now, is Elon going to go ahead and give them some of the little Earth-based links
Yes.
for them?
So what's going to happen is they're going to come down and first it's going to go to the government because right now there's a lot of services out there that are down because and they can run because their systems are not true voice over IP because there are still some hard lines, but there's no hard lines left.
Right.
Everything's gone. So they're going to go in there to get them up and running, and then it'll go out from there.
They can attach like portable cell towers to those things and allow them to fire up, and so people can get cell service and things like that.
Yep.
And start getting some.
And which is kind of again, this is one of those things where if you had the new iPhone 14 Pro, you have satellite communication.
No, all you're going to do is text.
That's fine.
Help. Send help.
That's what
John needs help.
Yeah, John's fallen. He can't get back up.
Is it medically necessary? No.
No.
TV's not turning on.
Yeah.
That's
how
the
come I
extent.
can't watch AMC Plus so I can watch my Walking Dead?
That's going to be the extent of the communication. And next thing you know, 911 will come out to your house and be
with Spectrum.
With Spectrum.
Actually, I think down there it's Xfinity.
Yeah.
Comcast. So yeah, it's definitely and so I don't know when he's going to start handing them out, but what I understand and what I read is there's 4 semi-loads on its way.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. That's
But what are they going to? I mean, I guess that, if you got to have power to generate them, and to turn them on.
Well,
they don't just work.
Yeah, but there's.
There's power's not going to be down. There's areas down there they can't.
It's going to be minimal power needed to fire up those things. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be great.
Everybody going to get generators or solar power.
Yeah, definitely.
They can run off of the solar power.
And he'll probably stick a battery pack down there somewhere.
Right, a couple
batteries.
I'm telling you, dude, I'm the devastation down there is
it's
just
unbelievable.
I can't. It's absolutely mind-boggling. The damage that happened.
We're on the subject of internet.
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Internet's I don't know if it's getting physically turned on, but I am getting the equipment installed.
You're getting excited, aren't you?
For my fiber.
And who's doing that?
It's oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just drew a blank.
Oh, here we go.
Here it goes.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go have to the Google.
Go. No,
new
it's
fiber service in
infra.
And where is it?
It's in Spring Hill.
Spring Hill?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Open infra.
Nope. It just says Verizon.
Nope. Open.
just saying.
The county's got.
It's Verizon.
No, the county's got everybody blocked out. The only thing that we had up there was Spectrum. That's it. For any kind of high-speed internet.
Oh.
Yeah. There is some fiber optic lines in a couple of the newer communities, but that's about it. Everywhere else, there was no infrastructure built up. So open infra is coming. I'm getting services supposed to be installed tomorrow.
That's
at
cool.
9. And
I tell you, if we're gonna, I'm gonna
1 gig up, 1 gig down for $45.
I've got the so T-Mobile is I'm an AT&T customer and have been for almost this is embarrassing to say, but almost 27 years.
I'm embarrassed.
And best service I've ever had on my phone. For some reason, their hotspots suck wind. It's horrible.
Right.
But T-Mobile talked me into that home internet, and we keep that in the RV, and we take that everywhere. So just for a test, I had the house on Spectrum, right, which is who we got there because FiOS has an issue with our neighborhood because it's a very long driveway and they don't want to dig. So I put my Apple TV on the T-Mobile. Okay, just to kind of see, right there. That thing has never looked that good.
That's pretty bad.
Spectrum can't keep up with a T-Mobile Wi-Fi unit. And it had 4 bars kind of, but when the storm hit, it went down to like 2 and still, no, you know how sometimes your Apples or your Rokus or they'll need to catch up and everything gets pixelated. Happens all the time with Spectrum, all the time. Right, and it's wireless. With a T-Mobile, not one time did it ever buffer.
Are you using Spectrum's Wi-Fi or are you using?
No, during the storm I was using T-Mobile.
No, but were you using Spectrum's wireless internet? Well, that's why their routers are garbage.
Yeah. I mean, every time you want to go in and change it, everything goes butt shit crazy.
Get your own router. You don't need it. You don't need that their garbage.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, we only got a minute and 36 seconds left. Anyway, so if you're looking for Spring Hill,
If you're in Spring Hill or Hernando County and open infra is around you, yeah, it sounds like a great deal. No long term.
you're gonna keep us up to track with it.
Oh yeah. Once it's hooked up, I mean, it's gonna be great. My bill's gonna be cut in half right now.
Cut in half.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
I know. And I'm on.
That's pretty good.
I'm off the promotions, but Spectrum's. But then again, if I don't like it, once I disconnect from Spectrum for a little while, I'm a new customer again.
That's right. 30 days.
30 days.
30
It's all it
days. You gotta
takes.
cycle through, right?
I'll be back.
And I tell you right now, if you're looking to get if you can't get whatever the name of that is,
Open infra.
and I'm telling you, go talk to T-Mobile, man. I'm old, so I get the senior discount. It's only if I pay through credit card online and just monthly do it, it's $45.
There you
it's
go.
unlimited up, unlimited down, and they do not throttle you. I've tested that.
Oh wow.
That was a big deal for me. I do not want to be throttled.
Wait till about another 30,000 units go out there, and then find out what's going to happen.
Well, actually, they're everywhere right now. I'm trying to work with them, get a QR, get an affiliate code, because I keep
Might as
telling
well.
everybody.
Just walk
Right?
across. Just walk.
No, I have to go to the metro. It's a whole thing. So, hey, thank you for watching today. We appreciate. We know we've rambled on. We hope we've given you some great information. Remember,
did.
back your crap up. It is a
Back it
big
up.
deal because we're not out of the season yet.
Oh no. Still got through
and there's 2
November.
more out there right now, not coming our way, but they are out there. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.